first reveal of my new hair. I have dark brown hair. So like I said in the end of last week's video, I don't know why I'm pointing that way, I just am. I'm going to do some game reviews. There's 3 that I'm going to do, I think. And the last one I'm going to talk at length about, so prepare yourselves. Anyway, the first game I'm going to review is Call of Duty World at War. Now, I've not played this much because my brother's been playing it a lot, but from what I've played so far, it's really good. Though not as good as Call of Duty 4, in my opinion. It's a lot harder. The enemies are like a lot harder. Like, because it's set in Japan, so say like you'll be walking through a field and you won't see anyone, then all of a sudden an enemy will just jump out of the grass and start hacking at you with a sword. That's pretty cool. They also like grenades to the enemies in this. They throw a lot of grenades. I've not played it online yet. I'm going to try and finish the campaign first when I eventually get it back. Another game that I've been playing is Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection. This is a really good one for retro game lovers and people who download a lot of stuff from the Xbox Live Marketplace or the Sony PlayStation Network. It's got I think it's about 40 classic Mega Drive games. Like it's got Sonic 1, 2 and 3, Sonic Spinball, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3D, and it's also got Streets of Rage 1, 2 and 3. It's got all the Golden Axes, Altered Beast, Alex Kidd, Vectorman, Columns, Echo the Dolphin, can't remember anything else. And it's also got some arcade games on it that you can unlock. And all sorts of cool stuff like all the original box art and interviews with the developers and all that stuff. It's quite easy for achievements as well. But that's really good for retro game lovers. And the last game that I've been playing, I've saved the best till last, is Silent Hill Homecoming. Now, if you know me, you'll know that I'm a big Silent Hill fan. After 4, people were a bit sceptical about 5, because it's not done by Team Silent, it's done by a new developing company, Double Helix, which is an American-based company. So people were a bit sceptical about how the West would take Silent Hill. And it did get some, like, bad reviews, but it got some good ones as well. Now, I was excited about this game regardless, because obviously I'm a Silent Hill fan, and from watching videos and seeing how it looked, it did look good. And then I got told by a friend that it was more like the movie, which is a good or a bad thing depending on how you feel about the movie. Aesthetically, it looks more like the movie, like for example with the nurses. Like straight away, if you've seen the film, look at that. It's the nurses from the film. That's pretty cool. That's a photo. It's advertising the mobile Silent Hill game, which I didn't actually know existed. Do you have to pay for it? Anyway, it actually plays really well. It is a bit more focused on combat. They've improved that a lot, but they've taken it away from Silent Hill 4, where melee weapons break after a while. Melee weapons don't break on this, which is good, because that annoyed the hell out of me. The only downside to combat is that you don't get much ammunition for your guns. Can't really do anything about this. You've just got to use your ammo sparingly, which is a bit hard to do because the enemies are rock hard. It is a lot harder than the other Silent Hills. there's only 2 difficulties, normal and hard. And normal's difficult. There's an enemy with blades for legs, and attacks from the front won't work because it blocks with its blades. So you have to kind of like dodge behind it or to the side and attack it then. Like in Silent Hill 4, there's hard attacks and there's soft attacks, which do different damage obviously, but the hard attacks you have to charge up and they take longer to perform. And in certain moments, you can perform a special attack by using the hard attack button on an enemy, and it will pretty much floor them. It's different for each enemy. I think it's different with each weapon as well. Like for example, I was attacking a nurse, used a hard attack on her. I think it's when she goes to attack you, but you counter it, and that's when you do the special attack. Basically, I was using the axe, and I triggered the special attack, and Alex, who was the main character, just swung the axe and cut off her head, which was kind of cool. The nurses are brutal on it. They are so quick, and they're quite easy at the start of the game, but later on the enemies will attack you relentlessly. They won't give you a chance to try and attack back. You have to strategically move around them to attack them. It's difficult. Pyramid Head's in it, but I haven't yet fought him. Whether you fight him or not, I'm not going to reveal. I do actually know. But for obviously those people who are playing the game, I'm not going to spoil it for you. There are 5 endings, which is ridiculous. Usually there's only 3. A good ending, a bad ending, and the UFO ending. But in Silent Hill 5, there are 5 endings. The good ending, the bad ending, which is the drowning ending. There's a hospital ending, there's a Pyramid Head ending, and obviously then there's the UFO ending. But like all other Silent Hills, it all depends on what you do in the game. In Silent Hill Homecoming, it all depends on choices you make. So there will be a time in the game where you have to choose to save or not save someone. And it all goes on that. So yeah, that's pretty much Silent Hill. If you're a fan of like survival horror, it's worth a play actually. Don't listen to any bad reviews, because it all goes on your opinion really at the end of it. But if you are a fan of survival horror, or the Silent Hill series, or even the movie, because you don't need to have played the other Silent Hills to actually know what's going on in the game, because it's not related to the main plot. So I highly recommend it to anyone, really, who isn't easily scared, basically.